Hello! I hope everyone is doing well, and thank you for attending the Low Code, No Code Developer Day. I'm excited to be here to talk to you about open talent as a strategy to help deliver on your low code, no code needs. If you think about the different tools in your low code, no code toolbox, open talent must be one of the tools you include. I'm Adam Moorhead, Vice President of Community at TopCoder, and someone who has been living, building, and innovating in the space for the past 16 years. I would say the past 16 years has been an amazing education on the power of communities, crowdsourcing, open innovation, and educating customers and enterprises and all of you on the power of open talent platforms. The future, this is where this gets exciting. Science fiction films and television shows are packed with examples of futuristic technology. When I think about low code, no code, I think about Star Trek and how they work to configure the Starship Enterprise and the future of interfaces, technologies, and all the talented people needed to make that possible. I start to ask myself, how were these systems built? Were they agile dev teams as part of Starfleet's IT department, or were they distributed resources around the galaxy with the ability to tackle technology and issues on demand? The open talent economy, so changes globally pre-COVID, have also changed our regular way of working. Many of you started it years ago. Do you remember the first time you hired someone or a service online? I remember I was found and hired for one of the first jobs via a technology website where I posted my resume and skills, and that was back in 1999. I actually joined the TopCoder community in 2002 as a freelancer working with TopCoder customers. Open talent platforms or talent communities have been around for decades. TopCoder was founded in 2001, and over the past 20 years, we have had a lot of interest and curiosity on how crowdsourcing and open talent can help create a more innovative model. But it's only recently that many companies have shown interest and fully recognized the advantages of tapping the skill, speed, and scalability offered by the platforms and communities. Open talent is the digital extension of outsourcing. It refers to the crowd of global talent available outside of our internal hires. Over the past 20 years, we've seen early adopters of open talent, if you consider that early adopters, be able to create cool ideas and scale them, tap into expertise around the world, and augment staffing as needed. Talent and employers now seek each other out on more equal terms from anywhere in the world. This evolving workforce is a mixture of full-time employees, contractors, freelancers, and increasingly in my world, crowdsourcing, people with no formal ties to your enterprise at all. People move freely than ever from role to role and across organizational and geographic boundaries. Let's talk about the citizen developer. So as we talk about low code, no code, citizen developer comes up. And the reason for this is because of the lack of skilled software developers and the need to improve turnaround time for business and development projects. By definition, a citizen developer is an employee who creates applications for themselves and for others in the business using tools that are not actively forbidden by IT. We don't want any shadow IT here for business units. A citizen developer at its core is a persona and not a targeted role. So the citizen developer is you, or a coworker that happens to be a massive business power user that is solving problems and getting things done with low code, no code platforms. What I have seen in the past 16 years is a transformation in this space, in the open talent ways of working and how we acquire open talent. At first, we looked for individuals with expansive backgrounds to not only know the domain, but to be a designer, developer, and thought leader, the unicorn. And we still look for this person. Then we started breaking down all the steps and roles to focus on specific roles. Information architect, UI designer, UX designer, front-end developer, back-end developer, full-stack developer, mobile developer, game developer, DevOps developer, web developer. You get the point. So the hyper-specialization and atomization of work makes sure the requirements and quality is captured at each role and step. We see this with agile methodologies, and it is the reason for the success of open talent communities. And in our current phase, we are breaking it down even more and focusing on specific skills. You may right now be searching for React developers and Angular developers and Java developers and Salesforce developers, focused more at the skill level and abstracting that from the actual role that you're looking for. So low-code, no-code developer. So if you go back to my Star Trek analogy, the talent issue will turn into a new type of talent issue as more employees or current citizen developers learn low-code, no-code and start to enter the open talent ecosystem, taking their business knowledge with them. The new talent search is for resources that know your domain, know your industry, and are able to leverage a low-code platform, or the talent to help instruct someone on the business problems to complete a project using a low-code platform. So tackling current and future skill gaps can be solved by starting now with open talent strategies. The shift is real, but with that shift, companies still have a high concern about the quality of on-demand talent. I imagine all of you listening to me talk about open talent have some concerns. Typically, it's around security and IP. But there's so many amazing success stories, and I have 16 years of those amazing stories. Most managers remain cautious and even skeptical about the adoption of open talent models. Hiring open talent requires trusting strangers, although I would say strangers become people that you actually know, with sensitive data, proprietary technology, and intellectual property. This gives platforms that recognize your concern an advantage. So platforms are now recognizing this concern and actively serving a valuable HR role by screening, sorting, and curating talent pools with specialized skills on behalf of you and customers and partners. We also see a growing number of talent communities and platforms recruiting talent from different segments outside the traditional workforce, such as parents or military and veterans. So let's bring it all together. The next step is to evolve your way of thinking and your organization's ability to tap into the power of open talent by adding open talent as a tool in your low-code, no-code toolbox. Why? Again, right now you are exploring low-code, no-code, or as part of this event, you have already completely embraced it and you just want to know more. You have employees in your company who are embracing the citizen developer description and helping the company achieve success in new ways with a renewed focus on what matters. So how might this work? I'd like to share some examples. These are not low-code, no-code examples, but they are examples of how low-code, no-code open talent resources can be used within your own teams and to get you thinking outside the box. I want you to understand that these are massive forward steps as of 2021 that help with the open talent concerns I mentioned earlier. Now, if you were to think about creating a team to deliver on a project using a low-code, no-code platform, ServiceNow or Microsoft Power Apps, the ability to set that up, be able to give access, they'd be able to work with open talent, freelancer talent, crowdsourcing talent, task talent, might be difficult. This is why exploring open talent platforms and getting these things figured out is going to be key within your toolbox. So this is your Star Trek distributed team that is able to quickly configure what is needed that week, day, or hour. In my examples, I have an agile team, I have a sprint team, and I have a hybrid team. So we have a healthcare insurance provider who wanted to ensure crowd was not seen as an exception or work happening in a silo. This was their motivation. They embracing open talent, crowdsourcing. They wanted to make sure that it felt like everything else that they were doing. So for them, this was considered friction-free or friction-free crowdsourcing. And this was established within their existing Azure DevOps. So in their current model, working right this minute, as work is handed out to different agile teams, one of the teams just happens to leverage open talent and crowdsourcing to deliver. We have a telecommunications company working on a rapid digital transformation across B2B and B2C, and they're looking to ramp into some niche skills. skills that they don't have. And so they first started with freelancing. And as they realized that they were finding the freelance talent that they were interested in, and they were able to provide that freelance talent with the access required within the enterprise, they realized that they could create sprint teams from this talent. So they went about leveraging the open talent, again, because it was screened and they already had an understanding of their skills, and creating 4 sprint teams of around 20 freelancers each. I also have a customer where I'm very excited about this model. It's a hybrid team model. It's a large global bank that's looking for rapid development on some applications, some infrastructure, and they embraced a team of freelancers, crowdsourcing competitions, and microtasks. So all of these, what sounds very difficult components, are all working together, essentially using the tools that we offer and tools that they also have built. So as we think about low code, no code, and your need for talent to help you build your applications, you can now start to see how these types of team structures could also be used if you were building something out on ServiceNow or within Microsoft Power Apps or other low code, no code platforms, and setting up with open talent the access that is needed. So we talk about advantages. What I like about the rise of citizen development and the citizen developer is that it embraces the advantages of open talent strategies. It just makes sense. The access to a wider network of experts, many more testable ideas, rapid innovation and rapid prototyping, reduced development time, and often comes at substantial cost savings. At their core, citizen developers are highly self-motivated individuals who proactively seek opportunities to innovate and get involved. This all relates back to attitude is more important than ability. People with the right attitude can bring invaluable knowledge to the development process. They're often much closer to products, processes, and customers than IT professionals, and welcoming their insight can lead to much more effective solutions. Again, alignment with the benefit of open talent platforms. You will find open talent platforms attract doers. I love calling the Top Critter community a community of doers. Individuals who are looking to learn and drive success of your project. The industry is not specifically hiring citizen developers yet. Rather, organizations are looking within to find their citizen developers. Potential developers usually have a role within the business side of the organization, and they are perceived as natural problem solvers. The types of requests I am currently seeing is for talent from customers focused on talent for ServiceNow, talent for Microsoft Power Apps to help deliver on these types of projects. So we see a growing request for low-code, no-code expertise, and as we know from a citizen developer experience example, is understanding of the business needs. I mentioned earlier that you'll still have talent issues. It'll just be a new type of talent issue, looking for resources that know your domain and know your industry. The future of that talent will be on open talent platforms. So to wrap this up, I'd like to provide a few tips to consider when thinking about leveraging open talent as the future of your low-code, no-code delivery. First off is growing leaders that understand open talent. All of you are listening to me now. I recommend you go out and do some more research. Reach out to me if you want to know more information. But given the pace of change in business and talent markets, it's critical that you realize the opportunity with open talent. Many of us are used to just working with the talent within our 4 walls, and it's a bit of a mental block. Need to get beyond that. Rethink development and rewards. So in an open economy where anyone can chase money from anywhere in the world, it's not the only decision factor. Great teamwork, open communication, collaborative flexibility, ability to learn new things are key to designing and managing talent teams. Community. Retention involves more than holding on to an employee who works directly for you. It's critical to build talent networks that attract different categories of talent partners and specialists. The sense of community and belonging also tied to your brand, is critical. Empathy. This probably should have been number one, but we're all human. We must empathize with each other. Understanding that open talent isn't any different than employee talent, that we are all human, we all have lives to lead. So it's essential as managers, as people putting these teams together, to understand and empathize with our individual struggles. Communication. This is possible because of all this incredible technology we have. Working remote teams, email is just not going to cut it anymore. It's just not the only way to do things. There's also so many new ways to communicate. Use them. As part of the communication, what is the rules of engagement? Remote work becomes more efficient and satisfying when everyone has communicated their expectations, frequency, availability, and timing of communication. Also set work hours and expectations on availability of those work hours, being conscious of time zones. This is a global open talent pool. It's also important to let everyone know the best way and time to reach you during the workday. The last important factor within communication is that everyone shares the same set of expectations and understanding when it comes to communication. And last is outcomes. So, you're putting this team together, you hired some people, you're working with open talent. It's time to trust the team. It's time to understand that you're competent, you're finding competent people. You will know pretty quickly who on your team are self-starters and those who need extra guidance and guidelines working remotely. It's not about showing up at the office every day. It's about being accountable and being accountable for the items that need to be delivered, and the open talent understanding what they're accountable for. Thank you for your time today. I hope you found this helpful. I really hope that you think about open talent as a strategy to put inside your low-code, no-code, development toolbox. It's super critical as low-code, no-code evolves. Where are you going to find the talent? How are you going to get work done? And especially going back to my Star Trek analogy, as we think about the future, how are all these things going to get built and how are these things all going to get done? So if you'd like to know more, talk more about this, or do a deeper dive, please do reach out, Adam at topcoder.com. Thank you very much.